Welcome to our monthly free reading hour. Just in case you don't know, yes, I am Corbie MItleid. Background, been reading since 1973, certified tarot master, past life specialist, psychic medium, channel, author. Where did the summer go? I don't know about you, but up here in the Catskill Mountains, the apples are almost ripe on the trees. We're starting to see leaves change. All of our beloved red-winged blackbirds are poof, gone. They're with us from February to mid-August, and then they go south. One of the things that reminds me is you only have 3 more weeks if you want to do our summer sale. We are doing general readings at a discount. You have until Labor Day. So yes, we're doing the really fast 3 card throwdowns pretty much today. Hello, my beloved Michael Arrington. But if you need some really deep dish stuff, a general reading is where you want to go. So what's it been like for me this year? You know, I mess with numerology a lot, and I'm in a 9-year, which is the end of a cycle. It's what I call the celestial garage sale. And you don't start new things in a 9-year. What you do is you get rid of what doesn't work and you start planning for the next year. And I am already doing that, in that we're looking at bringing back a podcast, but it's not going to be like I used to do with Empower Radio, where it was an hour of me interviewing other people. No, these are going to be little bite-sized things, 10, 15 minutes at most. They're audio. You'll be able to play them in the car, when you're jogging, whatever. And they're going to be basically what I know as an elder about life, about metaphysics, about psychic work, and they're going to be free. This is not a charged thing. So we're starting to put it together now. I will announce it as soon as we have enough scripts in the barrel and work done that you're going to be able to have an actual podcast once a week. So watch for that. If you want to also keep abreast of that, work with me personally, remember that you go to Patreon and look for Corbie MItleid. That's where I'm doing my classes at this point in time. I see a lot of you are putting in your questions, and I will get to them. Please, for those of you who are new, look at the rules right under the ticker. I need to have your name, your birth date, where you're from, and your question. I am strict. I don't have all 4 of those. I will not pick your question to answer. There are certain things I don't do. Health questions. You go to my buddy Stacy Wells. She's the best medical intuitive in the US. For brujeria, occult supplies, you go to Katrina and Eric Rasbold at crossroadsoccult.com. And I cannot recommend Catherine Knock enough for animal communications. My 3 cats call her Auntie K, and whenever she and I do a Zoom, they come scrambling from wherever they are in the house, piling onto the desk because they want to say hello. She is absolutely fabulous. Okay, so I think that gets all of the other matters done. So let's move into it. Renata comes in first in Österreich, down in Guatemala. I've applied for a management job with my former company in Austria, where I've been an employee before. What can I expect? All right, let's pull a couple of cards on that one. All right, first thing, it may not be a very short process. There may be either interviews or paperwork or things like that. It's not going to be a really fast thing. Number 2, they're going to expect you to be a magician, Renata. They're going to expect you to make real magic and fix a lot of things the first time you walk into the building. And third, don't worry about it. You will do brilliantly. So it looks like, yes, it will come through, but you're going to have some hoops to jump through. But once you get there, it's back in the saddle and you can prove to them you're just as good as you ever were. Okay. Sarah Beth, unsure if move to Virginia Beach is the right one or not. Now, this is a perfect example of when an intuitive has to leave their ego out of the question, because half of my relations are Tidewater and Norfolk and Virginia Beach, and you can tell because I pronounce Norfolk correctly. Norfolk is how they say it down there, not Norfolk. So I would say, of course, it's one of the best places in the world, but I will pull some cards on it. Okay. 3 things if you move to Virginia Beach, 3 things if you don't. If you move to Virginia Beach, I don't know where you, Vermont, it's the South is very different from the North. You are going to have to get used to the different culture. There are some things that you will have to leave behind in Vermont, and these are difficult things. Let them go. Do not bring that energy back to Virginia Beach with you. I'm not sure how long you would stay. If you don't, there is another place that you will happily move to with a much happier home, but it's going to take some time. All right. 7 of Pentacles could take a few months. So at this point, unless you absolutely have to, I am not sure that Virginia Beach is really the best place for you, I have to admit. Hey, Linda. Next 3 months. Okay. September, October, November, since we're halfway through August. September. This is the woman who is in her head. And for some reason, I'm hearing libraries, books, there is some kind of book literature thing, or there's an importance in the library, whether it's the books there or an event there. That just comes up for September. October, things are going to move very fast, very happy, good stuff. November, that could be, I'm trying to move it from the light that I've got above the desk. It could be romance. It could be a birth in the family. It could be a proposal. So it looks like a good 3 months, but something's up with literary interests in September. Okay, Barbara Klein, will my family ever get along again? And what if I said no? Barbara, what I'm going to show you through my Zen deck are the 3 qualities that need to be integrated in order for the family to get along. Number 1, whoever doesn't trust is never going to let that boundary down. So if somebody insists that they don't trust other people in the family, nothing will change. Number 2, that's the card of exhaustion. Somebody is just going to say, I've had enough. And that may be the catalyst for people working on it. Third, it's going to be very intense before they have a meeting of the minds. But what I'm seeing is literally that argumentative, come to Jesus kind of day, and I'm seeing the snow flying outside. So this may take into December, January. Hey, Corbie, Sheila LaFrance, Easton. Will I be with my boyfriend next year? Well, let's take a look. Okay. You, the boyfriend, the relationship, what you need to know, and best possible outcome. You're the mama empress. You are the benevolent dictator in the relationship. There needs to be a little bit more communication between the two of you. Right now, the relationship, the burdens are at an unbalanced state. You really have to decide who works on the relationship, where the important stuff is, what you need to know. It can be a success if you guys talk about it. And outcome, I think that by the end of this year, 4 months, you will know if next year is viable or not. I think it is, but you got to do some work on the relationship. Remember, all relationships, including 20-some-year marriages like mine, it's a work in progress. So Kim Wexler. All right, now we're getting into the spirit guide, people. Okay. Kim, it's very interesting. What I saw for you first could be because of Florida was a palm tree, but then they immediately flashed to the devastation in Maui. And besides the fact that, yes, all of us should do what we can for the people of Hawaii, it says that there is going to be some kind of a scorched earth situation for you where something you've depended on is going to burn to the ground, whether it's a relationship, a job, an outlook on life. Let it happen, because something will be rebuilt that's better and stronger. So I think that change is going to happen for you within the next 30 to 60 days. Okay. Podgorica, Montenegro. When or how to find stable income. Moreover, I want online work if possible. All right. I'm going to look at how. Number one, the Justice card says that, since I have no idea what you do, you may want to look at whether it's law firms, whether it is standard institutions. Even they will use contractors. Number two, I think you will be getting the job relatively quickly. And again, here's another legal card. So I have no idea what you do, but there is something about law firms, nonprofits, people who help the world be a little bit fairer, that may be where you need to look. Okay. Michelle, Anderson, Nevada, focus for the next season, please. All right. We're going to do 3 months for you. September. Okay, again, the King of Swords comes up. You saw me shuffle. What this talks about is a man who makes money with his mind. It also talks about doing all of the left brain things you need to do to keep your life in place. So whether it's mortgage, deeds, wills, whatever legal papers you have in your life, make sure that they're up to date in September. October, darling, you're going to need to take a breather. This is a card that in this case is 4 weeks. I'm not saying you're going to have COVID for 4 weeks in October, but it's saying, please, in October, it is very important for you to take a little time off to breathe and start thinking about next year for you. November, that's an entrepreneur's card. If you have ever been, if you are an entrepreneur or you've ever been thinking about a side gig or anything like that, creativity, that's going to come to the fore in November for you. I want you to think outside the box. Let's see. Hi, Linda. My husband and I are moving in with a third partner. How does it look for that? That's interesting. Okay. I'm going to use my Zen cards for you. Don't cling to the past. I don't know if you know this third person, but realize everybody grows and changes. Just because maybe you got along 20 years ago doesn't mean it's going to be the same stuff now. So go into this the way you would with anybody new. Second card, participation. Everybody has to make decisions. It has to be that equilateral triangle. It's not a matter of one person sits back and leaves the responsibility to the other two. Third, creativity. When you say a third partner, it sounds like it's polyamory, and you're going to have to be creative in how you work that relationship and how you present to the world. Life is nuts these days. And I have 2 dear friends who have been polyamorous for decades. It can work, but you have to be careful that the people around you give you the room to make it work, right? Don't shove it in their faces. Take your time. Anna Burchick, next 3 months. Okay. Time to take a chance, a leap in September. Yeah, this can be the casino, but I never like saying, yeah, go play the casino. It's going to make you rich. No, no, no. But the Wheel of Fortune is always a positive card. It says, if you take the leap and you know what you're doing, probably a very good, successful, lucky period. October. On the other hand, remember, the devil is not Mr. Horns in a Tail, even though it's Halloween month. It talks about being possessed by a problem or a person or a situation you just can't shake loose. So October, breathe, drink water, breathe. November, wind blows through nice and clear, some new people coming into your life, younger than you, a great deal of fun. So it looks like a pretty good fall. Just watch yourself in October. Okay. Michelle, one question per person. Okay. I did the 3 months, and that's where you need to go with that. Josephine, is the man I'm currently with the one I've been waiting for? Okay. Two cards came out. First is the card of ultimate truth. What you see is what you get with this guy, but my concern is you may not get enough in the relationship. The Six of Pentacles, a lot of people read as much largesse and much help, but I'm looking, it's that one guy, and there are lots of people around him saying, gimme, gimme, gimme. And so that card for me means make sure that you are getting enough out of this relationship, that it's not unbalanced. It has to be at least 50-50, if not 60-60. If that's the case, this is a very good shot with this guy. Okay, Patricia Ackley. No, I haven't read you yet. Okay. Important need, direction my spirit guides want me to do or go towards. Okay. Hold on. They specifically want you to get rid of the stress that you are under. You're taking on everybody else's stress and you've got to stop it. It means that you may have to postpone some work in some relationships, but that's not a problem. Sometimes I think you step in to try and fix something when if you just let someone else get their heads together, they can do it themselves. You've got to slow down. Okay. That's the message from your spirit guides, is watch the stress level, postpone any being the cavalry and rushing to somebody's help, please. Nancy, it's been years since we spoke. My mother, Edith, is 95 in a facility. Can you tell me if she's safe there? Okay. I'm a little worried. The Five of Swords is what I call the bitchcraft and manipulation card. I don't think anybody is necessarily hurting her deliberately, but I'm not sure she's getting the attention she needs. I would do some checking if I were you. Okay. Squeaky wheel gets the grease, and I think your mother is not a squeaky wheel. Let's see. Sheila, I believe I already answered your question. Let me see. Yes, I did. Sheila, I've already answered your question earlier in the podcast. Catherine, when will I find a long-lasting love? All right. I'm looking for princes for you. They are between 25 and 40. I'm going to look month to month, starting in September. First guy I see that's a possibility for you is in March. And I'll confess, he's one of my favorite cards. It's the Prince of Pentacles. This is the guy that may never jet you to Paris or buy you 2 dozen roses, but he rubs your back when it hurts. He's the one who cleans the cat box. He makes sure that the house and the car are in good repair, and he looks at you like you hung the moon. So the person that I see who is most likely to fit that criteria comes in next spring, but I always do check 2 years in a row. So let me see if there's anybody else. Nope. Looks like next March is the guy you've been waiting for. Megan Wilcox. When should I expect a romantic relationship with a man? You know, I really appreciate you saying that, Megan, because it's no longer you assume heterosexual, straight, etc. And if Skylar says, I want a relationship, and I start reading guys and she really wants girls, I haven't been able to help. So if you're asking about a relationship, make sure you tell me what flavor you are looking for. So, okay, Megan, 83. So you're 40. I'm going to be looking for kings. They're 40 and over. And again, pretty much through the end of 2025. All right, the first serious relationship I see for you is November of next year. I know it's a while, but this is a guy who has money, conservative, you know, I would say conservative Republican type, likes the world the way it used to be, and will expect you to hold those kind of social attitudes. If he's not the right one for you, let's just take 2025, March for you, and May, and July. All right, yeah. 2025 is your year, darling. March is the King of Wands. He's an entrepreneur type, very creative, very passionate, but the kind of guy that I say is a golden retriever on 2 feet, and that the world is so fascinating to him that he's all over the map, and you have to kind of pull the leash a little bit to get him back to you. That doesn't mean he cheats on you. That just means the world is, it's like he's a retriever and it's full of squirrels. Think of it that way. May is the meeting of the minds card. Remember, this is someone you could meet through work, through taking a class together, through working for the same political candidate, helping out the same charity, rooting for the same sports team. And in July next year, you've got the King of Cups. Now, this is someone who is divorced or widowed, has kids, at least teenagers. And whatever happened to him, it made him very good at accessing his own feelings and being able to talk about them. You know, finding a guy that can really talk about things for our generation is really rare. So he looks really good. So you got 3 shots. Okay. Crystal, what can I expect in the next 6 months? We're doing 3 months at a time today, Crystal. Let me see what I find for you. Okay. September. Boy, this card is coming up a lot. Now, for you, I'm hearing not so much rest as stagnation. There's going to be some delays in what you want happening in September. Don't have a conniption fit. Just breathe. They're showing me a dam and beavers. So that tells me whatever the roadblock is, people will be working on it and should clear by October, because October is the big thumbs up card for some new adventures. November, people, social for you. So it's going to be a little frustrating to get things moving forward in September, but let things go at their own pace. I have a feeling whatever they're getting out of the way is something you really wouldn't want to handle anyway. Okay. Ashley Rawdon, should I expand my business to offer shipping? It's a nice, simple question. I tell you, shipping in Canada, yeah, but I know that I just sent one of my books to somebody in Canada, and the postage was more than the cost of the book, so that's a little rough. Is it a yes or no? Should you start doing shipping? Yes, I think it will do good things for you, and it will be a long-term successful investment. Okay, Marcy Mango. Okay. Let's see. Next 3 months. September. Victory through teamwork. So whether that's family, whether that's friends, whether that's a group you're in, everybody has to pull together to do what needs to be done. Make sure that if it's possible, you bring a consensus together, because I think you're going to be the one who sees all the parts. Second, Money looks good in October. Why upstairs is telling you buy a scratch-off card, I don't know, but it said buy a scratch-off card. Let me know if it's a biggie. November, I want you to look at the responsibilities you carry in life. I want you to look at whether you say no when you really should say yes. I want you to see if you are covering somebody's expenses that you really don't have to, but there's a little guilt. You carry too many responsibilities and you have to learn to say no. Remember my philosophy, no is a fabulous idea. Michael Arrington. Mwah, Michael. Hi, Lori P. Hi, Elsbeth. We're doing 3 months at a time. Hope that Penzic was good for you. For the rest of you, what is Penzic? Elspeth belongs to a medieval and Renaissance reenactment society I used to belong to. And for the last week in July and the first 10 days of August, there is what they call the Penzic War, which is 10 to 15,000 people in costumes with armor, and they get together in Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania. And I know that she just got back from that. So September, October, November for you. September, all kinds of ideas. You can't make all of them work. You need to pick and choose, whether that's hobbies, whether that's at work, whether that's friends. October, the right choice will be made and you will be moving forward on it. November, you will hit an either or situation. I think there will be a couple of things that you will choose in September and October. And in November, both of them are going to be calling your name and you're going to have trouble deciding which one gets priority. You must make the decision. Don't let it sit. Okay? It will ferment like a bad egg. Lydia, okay. Guys, you're asking for 4, 5, 6 months. We're doing 3 months today because I got a lot of people to go through. So, Lydia, September, October, November. Money in September, but rules in October. And the whack-a-mole card, remember, lots of things coming at you, but you can win in November. Looking at all of this, I think your focus is going to have to be on career. I think that there's going to be not a fight at work, but some confusion and not enough people taking responsibility for what needs to be done. And you need to make sure that you do only what is required for you. Don't try to fix it for everybody else. Okay? I don't see it being a big problem for you as long as you take care of your own little part of the garden. Okay. Missy. How to convince my mom to believe my intuition about a new neighbor. I've never gotten such a bad vibe from someone. I always trust my gut. You may not be able to get your mom to listen. I'm going to pull some of the philosophy cards, and then we'll discuss what to do if. Suppression, control, but receptivity. All right. For some reason, I do not think that your mom wants to be told about the neighbor. Maybe she doesn't want to look like some, scared little old lady. I don't know. But what I'm going to suggest is if you get the bad vibes and she's not getting it, I would recommend that you do some warding on the house. Now you are in Slovenia, so I can't just say, go to Katrina Rasbold and order things. But I would, if I were you, look up online about stones and crystals for protection around the house and see what you can get to put on the outside perimeters. I think that that may give you some help if your mother just refuses to believe anything about this guy. Brenda Olson, should I get another puppy? Did you ask your current puppy? 4 months, not quite soon, 4 months. So maybe at the turn of the year, okay? Start looking now, but at the turn of the year. Lori Armstrong, let me see. I'm going back just to check. Remember, folks, that we do one question per person. And sometimes if a name seems familiar, but I have to go back and check. Oh, Missy says, P.S. You've been right about my job. I'm so glad. You know, if I am on the money, if I hit a bullseye with something that I answer for you here, please do let me know, because I won't necessarily. And it's always good to know that I've done my work right. Okay, Lori, your guides. Let me see. All right. Interestingly, for you, I'm getting a windmill, you know, like the Holland windmills, but instead of doing its usual thing, it's spinning way too fast. I think that is, in a sense, spinning your wheels. Could be because you're from Holland, New York, and your guides are being smartasses. What can I tell you? As a matter of fact, that is making me giggle. It really is. I love it when spirit guides have some attitude and snark. So what I'm doing is I'm asking them, is it that you need to slow down, or is something else happening in your life that is moving too fast that you don't have a responsibility for? And it's that. So I have a feeling there may be an opportunity or relationship or a situation that you simply will not be able to move fast enough to either fix or catch. There is nothing wrong with you. It wasn't your responsibility. Let somebody else deal with it. If you feel like you are missing something valuable, it will come again more slowly, they tell me, within the next 30 to 45 days. A hypothetical example is if you were looking for work and you saw a great one, but you didn't get your resume in time because they were pushing real fast to get a person in. Maybe you didn't get that one, but there could be another job like that, something as good within the next 30 to 45 days. Okay. Let's see. Iris Elizabeth, Macedonia. I love the fact that I'm getting all these people not from the United States. That is so cool. When will I be able to divorce? My life is stagnating so far. Mainly the thing is that I'm not financially independent. All right. So the question is, when will you be able to be independent? Months or years? It's going to be years. Okay. You need to start putting things together differently for the rest of this year. You are going to have some money to do it in 2024, but it would make it very difficult. Put it aside. 2025. By 2026. I know, 4 years, this is awful. But if it's a matter of financial, that you have to be able to make your own money, it's going to take a little bit of time. Okay? Elisa. Well, I meet Fuad in person. Is there a connection? I like him. Okay. It's going to be a few weeks. Now, the card is wishes fulfilled. So, will you meet him? Yes. But that card also means remember what you asked for, because you're going to get it. So, I think there's a connection, but don't look at him as if he is the only one you'll ever be with. All right? There's a good shot, but remember, you are still in control of your own life. Teresa, without a question, I do not answer. Okay? Look at the bottom. It says your name, your birth date, where you're from, and a specific question. Janet DeBella, hello, darling. Good to see you. Lindsay Barnes, another one who wants a spirit guide question. Okay. Interesting. You're going to laugh. They're showing me what used to be called a Dagwood sandwich after a comic book character who always ate enormous amounts of food. And it's a sandwich piled high like this. And there are two things. Number one, they're specifically saying, will you please watch your diet? Don't do stupids. Not that I think you're going to eat a sandwich this big, but it is also not only physical digestion, but trying to multitask, digest too much in your life, and you are going to really get sick from it, whether it is emotionally sick or a breakdown collapse, okay? So that's a very important message from your guides. Watch the diet. And when I say diet, I don't mean lose weight diet. I mean the food you put in your mouth. And also look at how much you are trying to do in your life. And I want you to get rid of at least 3 things because you're putting too much on your plate and you are going to just drop. Okay, Ashley Clark, where and when I will find my person. Okay. Princess of Swords, I just asked upstairs, and that's December, January, February, the cold months. And I think you're going to find it somewhere around academia, whether it is you take a class or, you know, you lived in Philadelphia. It might be you'd meet him somewhere around Temple University or Villanova or Drexel or Penn. Okay. So sometime in the colder months, and he has something to do with learning knowledge in academia. Hi, George. When will I find a lasting love partner to spend the rest of my life with? Okay, let's see. Remember that we all have more than one person or we'd never get divorced. So this is not the only chance you're ever going to have. And whether or not you spend the rest of your life with them is going to take both of you doing the work. Don't fall for the magic fairy tales. They don't work. And so what my guides are telling me you need, George, more than when, is what? You need someone who will let you backstage so you really get to know who they are when they're not just putting on their public face. You need to have patience, because to immediately say, I've got to fall in love now, I guarantee you will get the wrong people. No judgments. My brother used to swear that he was going to marry this tall, willowy redhead who was a fabulous tennis player. Well, he married an average brunette who's a harpist. But they've been together almost 40 years and have 2 great kids. So, okay, no judgments. Take the person for simply who they are. And last card is, do not expect them to give you constant support. Okay, what I mean by that is they're not going to be pushing you. They're going to have their hand in back of you. If you stumble, they'll be there to help. But you're the one that needs to make your own decisions. If you can find someone like that, I think that you're going to find them in 2025. Probably April or May. Okay, you're welcome, Catherine. You're welcome, Josephine. You're welcome, Crystal. Lori P. Oh, I think Lori P just said hi. First, did I miss out on the specials you were offering on readings? No, you did not. And so I will hold it up again. See, people? Now through Labor Day, you get a discount on general readings, both 30 and 60 minutes. Notice the codes are some are 30 for 30-minute readings, some are 60 for 60-minute readings. So you got about 3 weeks. All right, messages from your guides. Let's see. All right, they're showing me a game of chutes and ladders. If you remember that, some people call it snakes and ladders, but you know me and snakes. Ew. But they show you climbing up a ladder, you know, clambering up it double speed. So, and they then give me a business spiel. So what I'm sensing is, if you are still working, there is more kudos, merits, maybe even a tiny promotion. If you are looking at retirement, you're going to reach it quickly and successfully. So things are going to move for you in terms of either career or retirement very quickly and very successfully. You're welcome, Elspeth. Good. Glad the Pensic was good. Renahin, Missy. Oh, you can do magic words. You got it, baby. You got it taken care of. Sharon, financial standings getting better or worse? Julie RN, you are, look at the rules. Name, birth date, where you're from, and a specific question. Okay? Then I answer questions, but I don't just guess at what you want. The financial standing, Sharon, are going to get better, but you have to be the one in your head. You're the one who needs to cut right down the middle. Good, bad, truth, bull, keep it, dump it. Okay? I think that your financial standing can be better, but somebody needs to be really sharply looking at all the financial details, and I think it needs to be you or possibly a female financial advisor. Jill, when will love find me? All right. Before I get to you, Jill, Crystal said I skipped Brigitte Lang. Hold on. I want to look and see if she's here. No, she was not there. I did not skip her. Sometimes you think that you put something in, or you have put it in somewhere else. But this is the first that I'm seeing Brigitte, and I will get to her after I get to Jill. Okay? All right. When you ask love questions, Jill, it's always easiest when you at least give me your year as well. Because if I find this great 46-year-old and you're 27, you are not going to be interested. What I will do is also male and female these days. What I am going to say is what they're telling me is the person that you're going to find understands money. It doesn't mean they're wildly wealthy, but they are responsible. They're not in debt. They make their own money and possibly do it as a creative, cabinet maker, something like that. They will respect your brain, not just your looks. And third, they are going to come with some baggage. I sense that there's going to be an ex that doesn't want to be an ex. You have to decide, is it worth having to deal with that for this guy or girl? Okay. Brigitte, what will the next 3 months bring? Something solid, long-term, and dependable is coming up for you in September, whether that's the house you've always wanted, a solid job, or something financial that has some long-term benefit. October, that's the happy relocation card, moving in, moving on, moving up. You could change your job, where you live, where you put your energy. November, no, you're not going to be hit by a bus. Okay? Remember, the death card is death of an old way of life, death of what you've outgrown, death of what was never you in the first place. My sense is that whatever move you make in October, wherever you change your life, you are going to have to leave some old things behind because they just won't fit anymore. Bless them and release them. No regrets. Okay. Agata and Teresa and Emily and Brooke. Okay. Agata wants a spirit guide. Okay. All right, Agata, what I'm getting for you is you have been pedal to the metal. I don't know if you know that expression. But you don't do anything by halves. You do everything at 110%. And I'm literally seeing some kind of a physical damn, whether it's a sprained ankle, whether it's a fender bender, something like that. Your guides are saying, please slow down. Because it's not that you're doing everything intensely is bad, but you're not giving yourself time to breathe or think. And they're really concerned about that. Okay. Teresa Lux, do I need to move? That's a simple yes or no question. I don't know if you're in an apartment or a condo or a house, But there are some local rules that you're going to need to deal with that are stricter. For instance, if you are with a condo, the HOA, the homeowners association, might be a pain in the butt. If you are trying to do something with your house, there may be some rules about how you can build or what you can build. So I don't think you need to move as long as you can play by the rules set by the people who run the place, whether it's a landlord or the neighborhood or whatever. Okay. Emily, another one with spirit guides. Okay, hang on. Okay. Let's see. Ew. Now I don't like horror movies, but your spirit guides are showing me the way, we walk into a building and something drops and we look up and there's blood on the ceiling and it's dripping down. Not that is not literal. You're not going to walk into some place and see blood, but what I'm sensing is there's a situation where there is not only no more blood to bleed, but you didn't do it. Somebody else has the work that needs to be done. Okay. There is a very difficult situation, whether it's with family or with friends. You can't fix it. You can't take responsibility for it. You can help bandage the wounded when they're done fighting. But it wasn't something you did. It is not something you're responsible for, and it's not something that you can actively fix. You're a good-hearted soul. You don't like to see people hurting, but sometimes that's what they need to do to learn, to grow up, and to move on. Okay? Let's see. Brooke, do you see a financial issue getting resolved in my favor? That's a simple yes or no. Yes, I do. That's the big woohoo celebration card. 3 of Cups. Julie, too many questions. Should book a reading soon, but any messages? Thank you. Yes. Remember, Julie, if you want to do a general reading with me, book it within the next 3 weeks so you can take advantage of the discounts. Okay. Summer 30 gets you a discount on a 30-minute reading. Summer 60 gets you a discount on a 60-minute reading. It's very sweet. Girlfriend, you're tired. Because what I'm seeing is a particular image of the goddess that is taken directly from a book called The Door into Fire by Diane Duane. And she is gathering you on her lap and just holding you. You're tired. You are tired. You need someone to care. You need someone to say, I believe in you. That is what I'm seeing. And Spirit wants you to know that upstairs is doing their damnedest for you, no pun intended, to see that you are taken care of. Please don't think you're in this alone. That's their message. You are not in this alone. Odile, may I? Okay. Odile, you didn't say your age. You didn't say where you're from. Okay? Look at the rules. Your name, your birth date, where you're from, and then your question. And do not, this is for everybody, don't just put those 2 little things you missed in and expect me to go back and find it. You have to repost the entire question. You're welcome, Lori. Mary Mansfield, when will the energy shift around our housing search? Feeling very stuck right now. For you, Mary, I'm going to take a look at your numerology, okay? Remember, our lives go in 9-year cycles. And I take your month and day. 5 plus 16 is 21. Always check my math. Plus this year's master number of 7, 28. 2 plus 8 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. You should be able to find something before the end of the year. Let me see what month. August, September, October, November, December. I think you need to find it no later than November 15th, because December is a rotten month to look. September and October look actually pretty promising. Okay. Let's see. Okay. 33 master number, please. Okay. Odile, 33 is a master number, but I don't know whether that's you're seeing it, whether you've got it. And also the numerology I do are little bitty bites. In order to look that up for you, I would need to do a full numerology report. I am not a numerologist by trade. I am sorry. Emily, I believe that I already gave you a message. Let me go back. Yes, Emily, I already gave you a message about your spirit guides. So when this is done, go back probably at about the 40-minute mark, and you should have it there. When picking a reading from you, how can we decide how long we need, and can we add on if we choose the shorter? Okay, Patricia, that is a great question. The thing, and let me educate everybody on this. I'm fast, as you can see. So I always tell you, book less time, not more. It depends on how much stuff you've got to discuss. All right. Yes, you can add on as long as I don't have another client after you. Okay. The other thing that I do, which may help you, is let's say you book an hour with me, but we get it done in a half an hour. What I do is I give you a code, a special code that is a coupon code, that the next time you need a half an hour general reading, you just pop that code in your booking form, and you will not have to pay for that second 30-minute reading. Okay. So it depends on how deep you want the questions to go. For instance, when someone is asking me about career, sometimes we look at what has been in the past. Do they want to change it? Remember, I used to be an executive recruiter. If you have lots of questions about family, if you want to do a general reading, plus I want to talk to Dead Aunt Mabel, and that would be an hour. But don't buy more time than you can afford. That's my cardinal rule. Okay. Odile, let me explain to you, since you're asking all kinds of things that I normally don't do. You're obviously new. Okay. What these readings are for. These are fast 3-card throwdowns. Okay. Your guides are not going to tell you what kind of a job you should get. My guides did not tell me I should be an actress, an author, an inspirational speaker, a legal assistant, a video producer, an executive recruiter, or a psychic. That's where my life took me. What they did say is what I needed to grow. They would tell me when this job is done for you, but they wouldn't say, all right, I want you to go and look in the Wall Street Journal and on Thursday apply to the job in the third column, second one down. It's not what guides do. They are here for our spiritual growth. Okay. And if you want that kind of deep dish stuff, that is what a general reading is for. I've probably read about 30 people in 53 minutes. So what you're looking for is a much more involved sort of thing. Otherwise, I could just throw you 3 sentences that really wouldn't matter. And I have more respect for you and all of my clients than that. Okay. So let me see. Where else are we going? Emily, I've already answered you. Patricia, I just answered you. Odile, Bonnie Bowerstock. Is my son trying to tell me something? Okay. Bonnie, that is mediumship. Probably. You're not saying whether your son is autistic and nonverbal, but when people say that, it's mediumship. I do not do mediumship on the air. Okay. The reason I don't do mediumship is because I don't give you vague answers. I connect with your boy and there will be a conversation. And I can't guarantee that whatever he would have to say is something that should be in public. For me, mediumship is a very private thing. The questions here are all the practical, everyday items, or your spirit guides, or sometimes even a past life. Okay. So Mark, do you see me getting a job soon? Okay. I think there's going to be something different than you have normally gotten. And it's going to be there within about 3 months. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So at this point, we are at about 4 minutes. So let me do a little housekeeping. I'm done with the readings for today. The next free reading hour, it looks like it's going to be on September 17th. Remember that summer sale is over within 3 weeks. Again, use the summer 30 or summer 60 code and get that discount. Remember also, if you are someone who wants to do what I do for a living, my book, You've Got the Magic, Who Needs a Genie, was just revised and has more information, new information, better information than the 2020 version. That is now out on Amazon. Make sure you look for revised edition. It's there in paperback and it's there in Kindle, but it's 2 different links. Okay, you can find it on my website. If you have ideas for what you'd like to see me doing with that podcast, love to hear from you at Corbie@CorbieMItleid.com. If you want to join me on Patreon, if you want to learn with me, I do deep dish classes once a month, and it looks like we're also going to be putting up other information, whether it's videos or articles, things like that. Go find me on Patreon. It's Corbie MItleid. Okay? So enjoy these last few days of, well, we've got it summer here for everybody who is Southern. You're coming out of the winter stuff and you're going to start seeing the blooms, you lucky people. The last thing I want to leave you with is, remember, I'm your guide, but I'm not the one who changes your life. That is you. I hand you the tools, but you are the ones that have the power. You are the ones that have the drive and the will, and you're the ones who know more than I do what you need so that you can take your life and run with it. We intuitives like to say, here are your opportunities and how to grab them. Here's the tough stuff. Here's how to get through it or around it. Here is your toolbox, but we're not the repairman. Okay? It's been great talking to you this month. I look forward to seeing folks here in September. In the meantime, if you need a full reading from me, go to CorbieMItleid.com and I will be more than happy to work with you. Okay? Be safe,